Hello everyone, this is another LEGO Spider-Man set of recent release. It's Spider-Man Bike Rescue. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bike first because it is the main build. Now there are a number of things that strike me about this when I look at it right from the start. It is a huge motorcycle, first and foremost. Relative to the size of the minifigure, you can see that poor Spidey is just hanging on for dear life in a very awkward position with his legs, and I can only imagine that to get on this, he has to take quite a leap, possibly even web-assisted to get up there. But beyond the issue of scale, which is very common amongst LEGO motorcycles that are designed specifically for play these days, I actually like the shaping of the bike, and I like the color scheme and where they put the different colors on it. The fairing looks very complete. You know, everything kind of flows very nicely. I like the angle, the rake of the rear fender up there. I like always having wide enough tires on any kind of toy motorcycle to be able to just let the thing stand there, to be able to just roll it along without worrying that it's going to fall over, you know, before it gets to its destination. This also is set up to be able to be angled over, to look like he's swerving through traffic. That looks really cool. And it just feels fun. It feels right. Nothing's going to fall off from doing that. And it just is very natural. There's also a single action feature on this side, which again works really well with just normal play because, you know, put your hand on this, you roll it around, and then your thumb is right there on the trigger for this kind of spider shooter as they have it set up right now. You can set up different things to fit there as long as they're narrow enough. But yeah, the thumb is right there. Shoots off one of these spider things, and they give you an extra one in the set as well. You can kind of just connect one of those to the side here if you want to have a place to put it. On the other side is supposed to be a web spinner, you know, a web cannon, web shooter. Doesn't actually fire anything off though. This is kind of in suspended animation right now, so if you want to fire it off, you have to just grab it and make it go, which isn't that bad of a thing. It's really not bad at all, but I think it would have been nicer to have something that would actually fire off from this side as well. Probably wouldn't work quite as well as something shooting the smaller elements like this, but I don't know. I think one of the smaller little webs, as I'll show you in a minute, they have the full set of the new 2019 web blast elements in here, but I think one of the smaller ones would have worked out. But that's that. I also don't like having the exposed Technic beams here, but it's not that big of a deal. It just doesn't quite fit the textures of everything else. But overall, a very nice looking bike. It should play very well. Just a little bit sad about how Spidey has to hold on to the thing, and they could have included one more actual shooting element, and kids could have used it if they wanted, or not use it if they didn't want to. This is a really nice side build for a little power generator unit. It looks really good without kind of picking it apart, you know, looking at the specifics and trying to figure out exactly why each design decision was made. I just think it looks good. I like these panels on the sides. I like the overall shaping of the thing. Looks like it has a good amount of detail. These are printed. These stripe patterns are printed on the 1x2 tiles. Got some lights around the edges, and this has a good action feature built right into it. Around the back, you start to see maybe a couple too many colors, but it's still not bad. But if you have these web elements not attached, then it makes it very easy to blow this up. The idea is that it has been attacked. You can see the panel on the front has been taken apart, and I'm assuming that's like a safety release line or monitoring line or something has been removed, and this is going to go critical, and you just push there. Maybe do it with a little bit more force, a little more gusto than that. Huh? Yeah, there we go. And these bits just fall out. I think they look good just by themselves. I don't know, such simple things, but yeah, you know, simple enough action feature, but I think this thing looks just fine not doing anything. So yeah, nice to have some little structure build every now and then. That looks pretty cool. And that brings us to the next smaller thing, which is actually a figure. This is Carnage, and he's got all sorts of tendrils coming off of him and going in all different directions, and you can really turn these around because has that 4-arm connection, 4-bar connection pack adapter, if you will, on the back. You can really bring these things forward. You can rotate them around. You can really repose this pretty significantly. Have all of that facing forward for a direct attack, to someone coming up in front of them. All these can be spun around in different ways. So this looks pretty good without even looking at the details of the print on there. We'll get up closer, have to take some stuff off, but I like overall what they've done here. And yeah, I can turn some of these back. This isn't pulling out. I can rotate that around. Try to see if I can have a couple of these facing back and then have a couple of these facing down and maybe get it to just stand up off. There it is. Yes. It's my first time trying this. And I wasn't sure it would work, but I thought it would. There we go. Yeah, it's not too bad. That's cool. See, it's up off the ground. And that's without even reorganizing any of the pieces, reordering them, moving around. I think you can do stuff even more interesting than that. I like this. Overall, let's take a closer look. Yeah, still good. All that musculature, all the veins printed up very nicely. They got a little bit of dark red into the print on the torso there, which is, adding a little bit of extra depth. I like how it just continues through. Looks pretty well done. I mean, some printing on the side would have been just icing on the cake, but as it is, I think it's pretty good. I think the arms being blank kind of helps to merge a little bit better with the non-printed pieces, that stick out. It's too bad that most of the time you're not able to appreciate the print on the back of the torso, because that's pretty good as well. But when you put the pack on that has all the extra arms attached to it, or all the extra things coming out, then you don't see that. But yeah, everything is done pretty consistently and pretty well. I actually feel like this is a decently collectible figure. This is LEGO's 2019, or at least early 2019, comic version of Spider-Man with the dual molded legs there. Very nice looking mask. I think that is one of the better looking ones, just in my personal opinion, that they've done so far. Torso isn't my favorite, I would say, but the printing on there is good. It's just unfortunate that the blue stops so abruptly around the sides there. Not a whole lot could be done about that with the current production techniques. Looks a lot better from the back, I think, the torso does. So the amount of blue and where it all lands. Overall, a pretty good figure that I do like. And then here's one more Spider-Man, or depending upon the timeline that you're looking at, Spider-Man to be, it's Miles Morales. Another well-done figure. This one has attached to his hands right now a couple of the extra web elements from the Web Blast pack that comes with each of these Spider-Man sets for this season. And you can set those up in different ways. Those are configurable in different ways because they have bars attached to them, and you can also connect some of them with studs and things, but just focusing on the figure itself, very good printing on this one. I think it could have been just a little bit more opaque with the printing on the torso, but otherwise looks good, looks strong. Also looks collectible to me. I think the only thing that this really could have benefited from is a set of prints just subtle in the hip and leg pieces, especially the hips. Just getting a little bit more into that would have made this closer to perfect. Also in the pack of web pieces, you get this web handcuff set that just fits over a minifigure's hands. So if you have a figure that can be handcuffed, then you can use these. This set is unashamedly aimed towards younger kids. Keep that in mind. It's not supposed to be a collector item, although it does come with some collectible stuff. I think that the bike, the main thing that you pay for here, is probably the weakest thing in the set. I like that for what it is better than I like this, although this gets a lot more play value, or gives a lot more play value for sure. I mean, I've seen kids take vehicles with them absolutely everywhere, so it's good that it has a good solid build. Parents will probably want to think about leaving all this at home and also leaving the projectiles off from the stud shooter on the other side. The figures are just really good, really good in this. I think that collectors will really appreciate those. My personal favorite is the Carnage here, not just for its prints, but all the stuff that's attached to it. All it sticks out and it's so configurable. Very, very cool. And I think the price is very reasonable for the amount of stuff that you get here and for the number of figures that are included and how good they are. Enough yapping from me. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope that this helped you to come to your own conclusion about this set, whether you like it or you don't. I'll talk to you again soon.